From The Telegraph, how much does it cost? Elon Musk hints he could buy left-wing MSNBC. The billionaire entrepreneur floating the idea will come as a bombshell for broadcasters, university professor says. And for anyone who's saying he's joking, we can all agree that Elon's joking, right?
I mean, it's a very. What does joking mean, though? Because he will do something like buy X just for the lols.
Didn't we all think he was joking when he said he was going to buy X, and then he did it? We all thought he was joking when they were talking about Doge.
I think the fair point is that buying it would be the joke.
Yeah,
right.
He's rich enough to do it.
I mean, what's the price they're talking about? A couple million, 5 million, something? I mean,
they pay
more
Rachel
than that.
Maddow $30 million a year.
They just cut her salary, though.
No, but
they
still,
blow a lot of money on Rachel Maddow.
Plus, like, buying X was like a critical node in information warfare towards, leading up to the election. Buying MSNBC is not information anything because nobody watches it.
That's true.
Well, let me show you the tweet. So first, it starts with Wall Street Mav saying Comcast is putting MSNBC up for sale. Trump Jr. says, hey, Elon Musk, I have the funniest idea ever. Elon says, how much does it cost? And then you get Elon Musk quote tweeting Autism Capital, quote tweeting him, and he says, the most entertaining outcome, especially if ironic, is most likely. To which Joe Rogan said, if you buy MSNBC, I would like Rachel Maddow's job. I will wear the same outfit and glasses, and I will tell the same lies. And then I got to give an honorable mention to Michael Knowles, who said, if you guys need a replacement for Rachel Maddow, I know a guy.
I mean, it's good to see that there are people joining in the meme, but at the same time, it's not in any way outside of the realm of possibility.
Imagine he does it, he buys it, and he's like, Joe, you start on Monday. He's like, crap.
Monday would be kind of rough. But I mean, the guy shot a car into space just because, I mean, it's like, well, I need
allegedly.
If space is real, right?
Space is even
if space
real.
is even
We
real.
haven't
He needed
confirmed that.
ballast for the rocket, so he decided to put, one of the super rare, what's it called? Not the S, the Roadster, into space with, I think it was a prototype of his Android as well. So I mean, it's possible. I don't know that he's going to, but because I don't imagine that there's a significant built-in audience for MSNBC, and if he buys it, he's definitely going to change it. I imagine there'd probably be a bump for people being like, "Yo, what's going on in here?"
Look at this picture.
That is hilarious.
Is this real? Is that real?
Yeah, I think so. People have been saying that Michael Knowles looks like Rachel Maddow for like 10 years.
Well, when Michael first came on the show, we used to have drawings of all the guests, and our graphic artist Jessica drew a picture of Rachel Maddow so that when they would come in, we'd be like, we drew a picture of you. Can you please sign it? For Michael Knowles, he opens up the little art book, and it's a picture of Rachel Maddow, and everyone laughed. He signed it. And I think behind it was the real one. I don't know if he actually signed the real one, so we hung up the Rachel Maddow picture with
That's even better.
That's way better, yeah. Rachel Maddow is actually pretty good. I mean, her politics stink, but she's a pretty good broadcaster, right? She's the star at MSNBC.
Well, I have to say, I enjoy her show. I do, because when she cries when Democrats lose, it's cathartic.
It is. It is. To see her suffer kind of feels good. But with MSNBC, though, did you see their ratings? The ratings book came out.
Yeah.
And they're averaging like 75,000 viewers, and you get 80,000 viewers on YouTube. So I don't know. I mean,
Again, that doesn't square with $30 million contract for
No. But the viewership that they have is not only has it been going down, but with Donald Trump in office and the general tenor of the country, there's still the people that are freaking out and have a massive problem with anyone to the right of Stalin. But aside from those people, the general kind of the zeitgeist is Donald Trump is not that bad. The left is worse, or would have been a worse option. So there's not really that market for people that are, running around with their hair on fire talking about how, the Nazi's going to be back in charge.
Well, Andrew Schultz had a good take that went viral where he said that you can be weird or you can be pretentious. You can't be both. And Democrats are both. Yeah. And it's like, yeah.
I think even for the people who are those dyed-in-the-wool, watch MSNBC and Rachel Maddow for the, ever-longing hope that she's going to take down Trump. Like one of my favorite Rachel Maddow moments was when she had the Trump tax returns and she thought that this was going to end his presidency and it was a giant nothing burger. But since the election, their viewership's down like 35% or something. So I think even those people are super demoralized because they were dependent on the MSNBCs and CNNs of the world to tell them everything's going to be okay. We promise Kamala's going to win. Why would they even trust MSNBC anymore?
Do you know if it had been trending down leading up to the election
It had
as well?
been, but on election night, MSNBC actually outpaced CNN for, I think, the first time ever.
Yes, but the argument was that conservatives wanted to watch MSNBC. And this is,
That's fair. I had MSNBC on.
Yes, conservatives all turned it on to watch them have a mental breakdown.
Mind the salt.
Because
Salt
Fox had like 2.5 million, MSNBC had 5, and it's because conservatives were like, show me the tears.
I mean, that's what I did. I was at the final Trump rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and on election night, went back to the hotel pretty early because I had it on pretty good authority at like 10 o'clock that it was over. So I went back to the hotel with my husband, and we just made vodka sodas and watched MSNBC.
Yeah. I mean, the most entertaining outcome, huh?
The tone is also different now because a lot of these bigger businesses don't seem to have a problem with congratulating Trump. So David Zaslav did over at Warner Brothers, which, strikes a bit of a chord because back in the day, if you were running on these networks, you weren't allowed to even do that. It certainly wouldn't have happened in 2016, and with Jeff Bezos doing the same thing. Yeah. And there's also the news that came out that he said that there was no way Trump was going to win and then had to eat crow about the whole situation.
He said that, he said that didn't happen. He responded directly to Elon. That didn't happen.
I am not sure that that's true because why else would he have stopped the Washington Post editorial board from endorsing Trump, right?
So, what stopped him from? You mean endorsing Kamala?
Or endorsing Kamala, exactly.
So we talked about this, and it's my kind of intuition that everyone kind of felt like Trump was going to win, and I feel like a lot of people kind of have come to the realization that, look, all of the signs point to a Trump victory and a conservative victory, and the people that were, that wanted to get out ahead of it were like, we're not going to actually take Kamala's side. We're going to say that we're going to stay neutral. Now, it's not like he went and he said we're pro-Trump. He did just say They did just say that they were going to stay neutral, and they did receive a ton of hell for it.
They lost a lot of subscribers.
To their subscribers, that's the same thing. Not endorsing her is the same thing as endorsing him.
Yes, and so the point is, or the point that I feel like was being made was, it was social permission to, at the very least, not be a leftist, right? It was socially acceptable to say, you know what, I'm kind of done having to say the right thing or else getting hell for it. We're not even going to say that we're pro-Trump. We're just not going to say that we're pro-Kamala, and we're over that. And I feel like that's kind of, it was validated with the election, with how everywhere in the country, almost everywhere in the country, swung to the right to some degree. Even if it wasn't strongly to the right, there was some swing to the right. And I think because of that, all the people that were kind of afraid of, still afraid of saying, Trump's my guy or whatever, they were starting to. You saw football players doing the Trump dance when they won, and it was multiple guys on multiple teams. And I think that speaks to the fact that people are just tired of the way the left behaves.
Even in Hollywood right now, so Variety does a thing called Actors on Actors, and this year Sebastian Stan, he's the Winter Soldier in Marvel, he did a movie called The Apprentice, which was basically
it was impossible to watch.
Yeah. So the point is when they were doing this Actors on Actors segment, which is basically where they all just circle jerk and talk about how great each other are, nobody wanted to do the show with him because it would require them to talk about Trump, and none of the other actors they've all wised up and realized that talking about it just isn't good for their career. Not like in 2016 when the best thing that you could be doing would be to be virtue signaling about how awful he is. And now they're even walking it back and saying, oh, we made this movie so that we could analyze what it's like to become someone like that, which is not what they were doing the whole time they were promoting this movie. The director and the lead actor were both talking about how awful he was and how bad it was. So even they're walking it back ever so slightly.
It's been almost 10 years since Donald Trump first came down the escalator and stuff, and to me it seems like it's really, really, really fast. It's like it's gone by in a split second, but people have really just been worn out with the doom and gloom. You know, Trump's going to do this, Trump's going to do that.
You can only say it so many times before they say, well, when is it going to happen?
Exactly. I was listening to another podcast today, and Cenk was on it, and he was talking about, he was like, oh, Trump's a fascist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. And the hosts were pushing, well, what is it that he's going to do that's fascist? What are the things that you think? And all he could muster was deporting people, using the military to deport people, which whether or not you want the military to be used, that's something that I guess is open for discussion. But it's extremely popular. The idea of deporting people is extremely popular. And he also said, well, he's not going to step down. The guy's going to be 83 years old or 84 years old, something like that at the end of his term. He's not going to stay in power. And it's ridiculous to say that. So there was one thing that Cenk could come up with that was maybe had some validity. Maybe it is a little bad to use the military to deport people, but it's still a popular plan.
I agree. When they use the military to deport the migrants, to relocate the migrants on Martha's Vineyard, it was pure fascism, and we should be upset about that. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.